I've been tasting my own urine every single morning for 4 years. I maintain a spreadsheet with 1,460 entries rating color, clarity, sweetness, salinity, and mouthfeel. Because of this, I can now predict the onset of an illness 72 hours before symptoms even appear. Every morning, for the past 4 years, I've tasted approximately 5 milliliters. This is just enough for a proper palate evaluation. This started after I discovered the historical practice of uroscopy, which was the primary diagnostic method used by physicians from ancient Greece all the way through the 19th century. For those unfamiliar, doctors tasted urine to diagnose disease for over 2,500 years. Hippocrates did this in 400 BCE. The breakthrough case was Thomas Willis in 1674, an English physician who tasted a diabetic patient's urine and described it as wonderfully sweet, as if it were imbued with honey or sugar. He coined the term diabetes mellitus. Mellitus is Latin for honey. The name of the disease literally comes from a doctor describing how the piss tasted. I found this fascinating. If trained physicians relied on this method for millennia, I figured there was diagnostic value worth exploring. So, I started collecting data. I developed what I call the Golden Index, a standardized evaluation framework with 6 primary metrics. 1. Color. A 1 to 10 scale ranging from transparent to dark amber. 2. Clarity. Categorized from crystal clear to opaque. 3. Sweetness. Adapted from the Willis methodology. 4. Salinity. Measuring sodium and mineral content. 5. Bitterness. Indicating metabolic waste concentration. 6. Mouthfeel. Ranging from watery to syrupy. My current dataset contains 1,460 daily entries. My compliance rate is 99.7%. I've only missed 5 days total, 2 for food poisoning, 1 for COVID, 1 camping trip, and 1 oversight. The results have been significant. At month 8, I identified a predictive pattern. When salinity exceeds 4.0 and a metallic undertone is detected, illness onset occurs within 72 hours. I've observed this pattern 12 times, and 11 of those predictions were accurate. That is a 91.7% accuracy rate with an average lead time of 68 hours before I feel sick. I've also documented other correlations. Alcohol intake causes a 1.4 average bitterness increase. Dehydration has a 0.89 correlation with viscosity. Even psychological stress has a 0.72 correlation with a metallic taste. I've cataloged 34 distinct flavor profiles so date. The most frequent is standard, while the rarest is complex bouquet, which is wine adjacent. I've only documented that one 3 times. I am currently finishing a 34-page methodology document. It includes collection protocols like first void, midstream, and analysis within 30 seconds at room temperature. Once I'm finished, I can share it if you guys want to join in. My wife believes I simply take a long time in the bathroom each morning. She is not aware of the research. I've considered presenting my findings to a physician, but I suspect they would just recommend a psychiatric evaluation. Regardless, my data is clean. Medieval physicians used something called the urine wheel to compare 20 different colors to various diseases. I've essentially modernized this system with spreadsheet formulas that auto-calculate risk scores. Thomas Willis revolutionized diabetes diagnosis by being willing to taste what others wouldn't. I'd like to think I'm continuing that tradition in my own way. TLDR, I taste my pee every morning. I've done it over 1,400 times, and I can predict the future. Was I wrong for confronting my boyfriend's mother after she lied about me? One day, my boyfriend opened up to me about his mental health struggles and the chaos at his home caused by his father's alcoholism and verbal abuse. Thinking I was helping, I reached out to his mother, hoping she would understand and support him. Instead, she dismissed him entirely, saying, "Don't you ever fight with your mother? He's crazy. He tells everyone our private business." That was when I realized she was being dishonest about the situation. I then asked her to return the money I had lent her. After I brought it up a few times, she got offended and snapped, "I am independent. I am not dependent on anyone. What do you think of me?" She then went to my mother and told a fresh lie. She claimed, "I don't know what kind of magic she has worked on my son, but he loves her too much." She also told my mother that I speak poorly about her, claiming I said, "I won't stay with my mom anymore. I'm going to leave her." My mom defended me, saying, "Whatever my daughter has to say, she says it to my face straightforwardly." I eventually confronted her. I told her, "Don't you ever lie about me again. Have some shame. Even after taking my money, you lie? Shame on you." At first, she denied saying it. Then she tried to backtrack, claiming she was just giving an example of why we shouldn't talk about family matters to outsiders. I told her that she is also a reason for her son's lack of mental peace. I said that in the end, she only cares about getting money from her son, but never considers the environment he needs or how much his father's behavior disturbs him. Was I right to say this to her? Is it really impolite or rude to call out a lie? Is her lying supposed to be okay? 2 weeks ago, I farted in the middle of class. It was super gross, the whole deal. We're high schoolers and people are stupid, so I blamed it on a girl sitting near me. The guy I liked, the huzz, was right there, and a lady has to keep up her good impression. What I didn't know was that the guy in question was actually talking to her. Apparently, it smelled so disgusting that he blocked her on everything. This made her a laughingstock among his friend group as the one with haunted farts. The rumor spread to the girls, of course. People love gossip, so it spiraled quickly. There was even a rumor that her fart smelled that way because of herpes, which doesn't even make sense, but people are mean. She became an outcast among the girls for letting it rip in public. A few people tried to back her up, saying it's natural, but they got flamed so hard for it. Eventually, even just hanging around her made you look weird, and her social circle shrank from a huge group to just 3 or 4 friends. I feel really bad about it. I'd befriend her, but I'm a loser, and charity friendship from a loser is just insulting. I'm terrified of people finding out it was actually me. She was popular, so the social fallout for me would be devastating. I'm on anime Twitter, and I would be torn to shreds if people figured it out. Also, I've given up on the guy. I'm not risking my social life over a man who can't handle a little fart. I had lime juice and corn to mash potatoes. All I'm going to say is diabetes never tasted so good. Great side dish to some fried fish. Add a side of mac and cheese. Sue me. I don't care. I learned this when I was a server. Of course, it was an accident then, but now it's a lifestyle.